All right, everybody. Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Experience Pros Member Training. Today, we're going to talk about your marketing message. And we might reveal a secret or two, which actually goes against my grain, but Angel insists.
Well, it only goes against Eric's grain because he used to be a magician.
Right.
And magicians never reveal their secrets, right? And so a few years ago, Eric and I, when we started with radio, we had to really help people craft their message into something really short and succinct. You know, if you've got half hour, 45 minutes, you're meeting somebody for coffee or even a presentation, of course you can tell them what you do, right? You've got all the time in the world. Now if you've got to get that down to something 30 seconds, and not just your elevator pitch, but really a tight end message in your 30-second commercial, or just even as you're introducing yourselves at your leads groups and things like that. You know, what are some fun ways that are effective for getting people not only to be interested in what you have to say, but remember it enough that they could share that with somebody else? Because what do we love most? Word of mouth marketing, right? But most people don't have any clue how to talk about what you do.
Yeah.
Or even if like the first layer of person might get it, like if I told Eric this is what I do, he might be able to tell Sabina.
Do you remember the telephone game?
Yes. Mm-hmm. But by the time Sabina told Debbie, it might lose a little bit in translation. Sometimes it actually gets better. Like, I like the way she says that better than what I said.
Lesson number 101 as a magician was, if something really cool happened and somebody goes, "Did you do that?" You absolutely take credit for it.
He always is, yes. He takes the credit for it. But most of the time, it gets lost on really who we are, how we help, as it travels. And as small businesses, we rely so heavily on that word of mouth marketing because we don't have a big marketing budget. We need our fans, our customers, the people who love us the most, to really be our ambassadors for us. And so we actually developed a system for 3 different fun ways that are effective for getting your message out.
So I got a joke for you. I'm going to start with a joke. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. A dill pickle, a loss leader, and a soapbox walk into a bar. What? See, it was funny.
You're funny.
You want to know what those 3 have to do with one another? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. This is talking about your marketing message, and we're going to address it from the different perspectives of the dill pickle, the loss leader, and the soapbox. We're going to describe what that is. But even more, I want you to think beyond just crafting a message for, say, a commercial or whatnot. This applies to your directory listing. Choose how you want to craft your message for your directory listing. This applies to how you want to build your next marketing campaign. When you go out to tell people who you are and what you do, you can apply which strategy is the most appropriate for the time. Angel and I suggest, just as the web designers tell you need to change your web content on a regular basis in order to be relevant to the Google, right? We suggest that you change your marketing message every quarter at the very least. Think about that for a minute, because that actually revolves around the word work, and we all got to do it. It is work when talking about marketing your message and getting all that done. But if you change your marketing message every quarter, it gives people new, fresh information to play with, to transfer, and I'll reinforce what Angel just said. Word of mouth marketing is the best kind of marketing. We all agree with that. Unfortunately, the Word of Mouth Marketing Association, yes, there is one, says that only accounts for 13% of all sales.
So if we're relying like 100% on word of mouth marketing, you know, a lot of small businesses are very heavily on it, and it really only accounts for 13%. Where's the disconnect? Think about the last time that you referred, you know, how often do you refer new business to somebody else? And how, if that number of new clients was coming into your business, how profitable is that? And it's usually pretty minimal. So it's not that people don't love you, that it's not that they don't like your product or service, it's that they're just busy doing their thing.
Sure.
And if we don't keep top of mind and we're not exciting and we're not fresh and we're not in front of them, then even though they know about us, even they've done business with us and they really like us, if they're not thinking about us in this realm of word of mouth marketing, then it's just not happening. And it's not because they don't want to. It's just a fact of life. We're bombarded by thousands of messages, thousands of activities. We're all ADD not because we are, but because how fast the world is coming at us. And so when you change your message every quarter, you want to still make sure that you keep being your main umbrella, your main message. This is who I am. This is my culture. This is our mission. This is our vision. But this is the fun thing that's happening right now that I just want to, it gives me a reason to reconnect with you, lets you know something is brand new and exciting, because I know what you do, but I kind of forget. I forget that you're still doing that because it's not in front of me.
And one of the same things that Seth Godin says, a great marketer, and I believe I'm attributing it right to him. He says, the number one best way to sell something is to stop selling and start relating, right? So that's where these different strategies come in.
Eric and I were actually, when we started, we had to sell our own advertising on KLZ, and it was probably a year and a half after we had started here that I realized that was our job, was to sell advertising. Now, because I never talked about it that way. Those were never the words I ever used, was we're selling advertising. And it wasn't until somebody else said it to me, well, so you sell you're selling advertising, that's your main job. I never had put it that way. Our job was to help small business to get their message out and help to get people to say, I've heard of you. Like, we had all these other things that we were doing. Never once did I ever say we were selling advertising. And when it hit me one day, I thought, I probably made it far more complicated than it needed to be. But at the same time, I never felt like I was selling something. And I think that's why it worked, was because I was helping people get what they wanted. And we all feel that way, right? We're all in the education business. So, all right, so.
Want to make sure that we address, as I see people starting to join into the video as well. If you have a question here in our office, just simply let us know and we'll address it. There's no protocol. You can just come in and give your question, no problem. If you folks have a question and you want something answered, please feel free to use our Facebook member page and drop me a note right there underneath the link that I posted to this. It's at the top of that Facebook member page. Or you can text me, that works as well, and I'd be happy to answer that. This will wrap up at no later than, 9:30? So probably 9:15 is probably when we'll wrap this up. So get that in by that time, and we'll answer it for you on the video.
All right, so dill pickle, lost leader in a soapbox. They don't necessarily walk into a bar, but these are.
They walked into a bar. It was a great joke. Everybody laughed.
A funny name, but a dill pickle. So I read this story one time about a museum curator who wanted to turn their museum, rather than it being this stuffy place, where you come and you're all hoity-toity and looking at art. He wanted it to be more like a community center in the community, where the neighbors got together, and this was just a great hub for interacting with people. But how do you turn something that people feel is like a snobby, hoity-toity, stuffy spot into something really comfortable? Well, he passed out dill pickles when he walked into the museum. You can't be all that stuffy when you're looking at art, sucking on a dill pickle, right? And it was a really unique, just a unique way to disrupt complacency. I want to change the culture and the atmosphere, and I want to make it something just really comfortable. If you get a dill pickle next to your deli sandwich,
It's expected.
Not unusual, right?
It's boring.
But if you get a dill pickle at a museum, now you've got my attention. So when we talk about your dill pickle, there is something about you that is unexpected, that you can offer people that isn't just a dill pickle next to your sandwich, but I think about Mary Kay and cosmetics. You probably have, if you're doing facials, you're talking colors, and there's a lot of things that we expect to happen. But there's probably something, I don't know, unusual, and it's not coming to me, but something will come to me, but that you can offer to your clients, to prospects, that just kind of delights them and goes, wow, I wasn't even expecting that. And it's probably something you're already doing.
We're doing pizza.
Pizza. See, people don't think of
pizza is your dill pickle.
pizza. So
I have an example.
yeah.
Please.
Okay.
So we want to get in a relationship with the top performing real estate agents in Denver. And that's because I'm part of that. And so what we did was we took a beautiful keepsake box, inside a beautiful printed invitation, outside a little keepsake piece on you being limitless, because that's the event we invited them to, with a gorgeous red bow and had it hand delivered to their home address.
Oh,
Mm.
And so it has stimulated incredible conversation. And one of the things I keep getting over is nobody's ever done this. Wow, I feel so honored. So it was an interesting, real, and very cool
It is a very cool.
opportunity to.
for the people in the
different.
video, this is Sandy Corrigan with Keller Williams, and I have a question. At which layer, on the bow or on the inside of the box, did you say, we're selling homes and we really need you to buy one?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere?
No, we just talked about them being limitless and invited them to our top producing event in Austin.
Hello? Don't sell.
Who is it? It's Katie and Grace, CR Conversations.
Yes.
They just sent us, are you guys clients of CR? Did you
Yes.
get your little ring jewelry this week?
The bling bling.
The bling bling. They said they sent the little jewelry, the little ring pop. It's a little piece of candy in the mail that said, what did they say? Put if you like it, put if you like her, put a ring on it.
And we liked it, so we put a ring on it.
So they sent us all, which was something just
Cute.
inexpensive, clever, fun. We once took a 6-pack of Mountain Dew to our clients and said, we can't do this without you. Little things that, and those are fun little things that you can send to and treat your customers special. And, when you think about some of the top customers that you have, it's not out of the ordinary. It's out of the ordinary for them to receive a gift that says thank you for your business and we appreciate you. But even as you're talking about your business and as you are letting people know who you are and what you do. For example, we've got a commercial running on our on the show right now from Bowman Heating and Air, and they say your wife is hot. And you think that he's flirting with you, right? And so here you've disrupted complacency.
Right.
But really, it's 90 degrees in the house. Your wife is hot. Call Bowman HVAC. Get your air conditioning fixed. And so it's something that just disrupts. It wasn't at all what you were expecting. Printing Done Quickly, who is a printer in Highlands Ranch, they do all these colors, right, of the rainbow. And so 50 Shades of Grey kind of came out and was top of mind. So here's, kind of tracking with the trends and thinking what's popular in pop culture, 50 Shades of Grey, whether you read it or not, you heard about it, right? And they're like, 50 Shades of Grey? Are you kidding? There are 256 shades of gray and color. And so they did doing a fun marketing campaign with that, just to grab people's attention where they're at. And we call it a dill pickle because it's unexpected. It's not your whole brand. It's just a fun little marketing campaign. And so just getting people to be delighted and excited, and it's sticky. Again, people can remember it. You'll remember your wife is hot. Like you'll hear that, and you know exactly, what that was about. It wasn't a flirting thing. It was an air conditioning commercial. So, okay, any questions about the dill pickle? And you probably are already doing something that is unusual or have done something that is unusual, but you probably never thought to market it. And go ahead.
So what kind of frequency are you finding the best results with these kind of pieces?
Well, we talk about doing a campaign once every quarter, and that campaign typically runs a 13-week course. What you'll discover is because these are effective ways of building relationships with people, campaigns spawn sub-campaigns, and before you know it, you're doing several in a quarter and many in a year. But we don't want to overwhelm you at the beginning, so start with one per quarter, and work your way towards, it actually unfolds itself organically. Okay?
But you can use this in messaging, your emails, your voicemails, just when you're talking to people. So often you meet somebody and they're like, oh, you're in radio. What do you do? I'm in radio. Oh, they know everything about me.
Yeah, you hear the word radio, Experience Pros radio show, and it's like, done. And you didn't know that we have networking. You don't know that we do training. You don't know that we are consultants. You don't know that we have connections and people all over the city. Radio, advertising, jump the tracks.
But when you have something new to talk about, what's new or what's going on, or we just launched this thing, or or we have this this unique program, and it's it's only for people who eat pizza on Friday night. It just grabs their attention again and gets them to listen to you, and then they can repeat that.
So the next thing that we want to talk about is your loss leader. All right, and Angel and I have been on the record to say that we don't really dig a lot of discounting. We don't think that you need to discount your services and or products in large part because the pricing structure is built such that it is, because that's the sustainable pricing structure, right? However, there may be things that you either can discount because the profit margin is huge, or they are intrinsically inexpensive but have a high value to your prospects and or clients. And so those things are called loss leaders. Those are the things that you can put out there. Reminded of, I was over at Safeway probably several months ago now, and I picked up a ham. I have never bought a ham in my entire life, but the sign said 39 cents a pound, and a huge ham. I'm a single guy, I live alone. Huge piece of meat was for like less than I pay for a pound of hamburger. So I could not resist. They got me with a loss leader. And isn't that the point of a loss leader? Oh, by the way, that was all the way in the back. So I had to go all the way to the back to get that. And what does Safeway count on? The fact that if I'm all the way to the back, I will buy something on the way. What goes good with ham? Oh, that's right. Green beans and potatoes. Yeah, all that. So the loss leader is another way that you can use your marketing. What do you have? What skill set or something of value? And here's the other thing. It's not a free consultation. Nobody wants your free consultation because we all know it's a sales tactic.
Yes, it is. We know that. So a free sales or free consultation is not a loss leader. But when Safeway, puts on their circular 39 cents a pound for this ham, they can give away lots of those. Now, do they make any money on this ham? No. But can they afford to put it out there to get you to come in the door? And so having that easy point of entry, because here's the thing, right now, your potential customers are somebody else's customer. So why would they change where they're at? Even if they're unhappy, it's familiar. And so we tend to stay with just what's familiar, even if we're not comfortable.
Right.
And so right now, your current customers are doing business. They're buying your stuff from somebody else. And so you need an easy point of entry, something to just kind of bring them into your storefront, into your website, into your sales process. That's not a big commitment or a big investment on their part, because they can make, I can decide I want to spend 39 cents a pound on a piece of ham, and nothing's lost. If I don't like it, I don't eat it. It goes bad before we can get to it. What can we do to get into your business? Or if they're not currently buying your product or service, they're not buying it at all. Which now means, okay, how do we get them to change their behaviors and say, I really want this? So these loss leaders, getting them into your storefront. Free consultation, we know, is sales pitch. So is there an interactive tool? Is it a gift with purchase? The cosmetic industry, I am a sucker for gift with purchase.
Absolutely.
So think
they
about,
come with bags.
I know, and I have anyways.
You know what that makes her?
Especially if it's teal.
What are you a sucker for? And, and it's not necessarily a marketing gimmick, but it's just smart business to bring customers, to attract them, to say, I want that. And, it used to be people do anything for a free t-shirt, right? And so our first group of seminars that we did, we gave away free t-shirts, and it was a 3-part series. If you wanted all 3 t-shirts, you had to come to all 3 workshops.
I had people saying, I can't make the second one, but I need the t-shirt.
I need the t-shirt. I'm like, we're giving this valuable workshop, all this information, the stuff that's going to grow. It was for the t-shirt. So what's the t-shirt? What's the loss leader? What's the fun thing that you can attract people to just check you out? Now, here's what ends up happening. So often, if we're going to do any marketing or any messaging or put any investment into something, we want people to buy the whole whale, right? We want them to jump into the big thing, because that's where we make the most of our money, right? I want them to buy the whole Cadillac. But really, if you can just get them to buy the keychain, And then while they're there checking out the keychain, they see all the other things that you have to offer. So using your website, discounts, downloads, interactive tools, gift with purchase, bonuses that you add in if you upgrade or check it out. But just know, too often people say, just call me. It's a 30-minute consultation. That's a 30-minute sales pitch, and we know that. Spina's like shaking her head all over the place. Like, oh, yes, absolutely.
For the members of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, that translates down to the special offer that is available on each one of your listings. It's at the bottom of the page, and so as you're editing your listing, and we'll tell you a little more about that at the end of this, you can add a special offer. And again, we encourage you to make it special. Don't make it the dill pickle on the sandwich plate, right, which is invisible. Make it special. And this is a great place for that loss leader to get people into your funnel. Once they're into your funnel, we expect that you are the experts at what you do and how you can develop those relationships, keep them in. And over the course of time, when the timing is right, the timing is perfect, you turn that into a transaction.
This is where collaborating with other members comes in so handy. Because again, we don't have the profit margin to offer a discount as a small business. And so, I remember once somebody sent me an ad that they were offering a 7% discount on all orders today. And it was like a $30 product. So of course there's no room for a discount. So 7%, yes, you can put that out there, and yes, you can get our attention, but it doesn't say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say $4.50 if I buy today. I even got a survey from the grocery store, the Starbucks, and I'd save $1 if I filled out this little survey. But I was trying to fill it out on my phone, and it just took too long. And after a while, I'm like, I'll just pay the $1. And so when we think about those offers, would it move you? Would it entice you to say, I need to have that sense of urgency to make that appointment sooner? Because eventually we'll all get there, but to make that appointment sooner. And so collaborating with other business partners. When you work with me, I've got this relationship with, so-and-so, and, maybe they can do, here's a goodie just by mentioning me. And my Office Max and Payless Shoe Source in my neighborhood, if you go to one, they give you a discount coupon to go to the second one. And so doing some fun collaboration with other members, one promotes each other, expands your sphere of influence outside of just your own, and you're both helping each other out, and your customers feel like, wow, I kind of get a double duty gain.
We see a lot of that in the Experience Pros Network, and so we want to say thank you to Sabina. You're amazing with that. You and Holly Claire are a great tag team, and you guys promote not just the two of you, but I watch you go around and literally channel conversations to find what, first of all, they need, and then second of all, how you can most help them and who you can connect them with. And there are many, many other members who do that as well. It's funny, we have a cigar night for several years. We've had a cigar night the last Thursday of every month. And who would have thought that this just a bunch of people getting around, having a little drink and a cigar would turn in. But I've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars across the table because people find out more about each other. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Become one of those. Business explodes.
All right, and the last one is, we call it our soapbox, because this is where you have a strong message, a story to tell. It can be a great customer testimonial, somebody who was just completely transformed by doing business with you, something significant that you do in the community, maybe part of your history, something that you really came through. This morning we were talking about what would Faith do, Faith Young, and in her movement. But when you hear the story behind how she had this transformation, this accident that had happened to her, or even just the where she came from, it makes her impact more significant because now the history of how she started. Most people aren't all that interested. Okay, we're family owned and have been in business for 15 years. That's nice once I've decided to do business with you and it says I made a good choice. But in the beginning, people aren't going around searching for, I want companies that have been in business for 30 years. I want family-owned businesses that have been it's not what people are looking for. Like it once we get there and it's a part of your history, and that credibility. And just making me feel affirmed that I chose the right company. But in the beginning, it's not what we're looking for. But there's probably something really significant, a piece of your story or testimonial, that these are great, especially like if you're in a leads group or you're, where you get to go around and talk about, who you are and introduce yourself in a group of strangers who don't know a lot about you. To tell a customer's testimonial story or a story about your business, because stories are sticky. You think about folklore and sitting around the campfire and grandma telling stories of, you remember them. So if you can craft your story, your brand, your campaign into a story that people actually can tell, they can retell a story more than they can retell facts and figures and history. And so too often we want to kind of bombard people with, and this is an element we get from Daryl Stern, he's in the office next door, but we always want to talk about our features, right? It's red, it's, we're open from 9 to 5, we're on the radio from 10 to noon. Like, these are our features, but people aren't interested in your features. They want the benefits, and the benefits can be told in a story-like fashion if you can craft it into a story. I was working with a customer the other day where I had this mom and this was her issue, especially if you can frame it in who your target audience is. I work with these business owners, these restaurant owner, whoever it is, and you can craft it into, here's our target audience. And you don't have to say, I help restaurant owners. Like, they get it in the story. And so crafting your story, because they're sticky, we call it stand on your soapbox and thinking about the story that you have to tell. Of course, it has to be quick and those important details. And if you're in a conversation with somebody, of course, they'll ask you more questions about it. It's a talking point. It's a springboard just into who you are. All of these, I think of it as your marketing and your message is like little pieces of popcorn. You don't have to eat the whole bag. Every time you meet somebody, you don't have to give them everything that you do and who you are.
Wait, what?
You don't have to eat the whole bag.
I want to eat the whole bag.
But just a little pieces at a time that people can digest, because you can't digest popcorn. So you have to give it to you little pieces at a time.
Okay.
But it's not going to be the only time you get to talk to them. This is not a one-time deal. You're building the relationship, you're creating the path, you're creating your relationship together. And so if you vomit all over them or it's all sales pitchy, you're not going to get a chance to have more conversations, right? Avoid that one, and that story gets out, avoid that one. But if you're engaging and you have stuff to talk about, the challenge ends up being, when we talk, we know either how to talk about our business or we know how to talk socially. But how do we talk about the weather and social stuff and still let them know that this is what I do for a living? Because you don't want to end up in a conversation where you don't talk about you at all. So these are fun things that you can do to interject into a conversation that don't feel sales pitchy, that you are creating that path of interest. And if you're reading body language, if they're listening and engaging and paying attention to you, you're going to pick up on cues. And it gives them a chance to ask you more questions about it, which you can always then set up that next appointment. All of this is leading them into the next step. And you're kind of filtering them out. Are they interested? Not yet, not ever, or not now. And you can kind of feel that. And so I think a lot of times when we're having conversations with people, you're naturally filtering. Is this somebody I should be following up with? Or are they just not yet? Because their situation can change by tomorrow. But right now where they're at, if you're talking to them and there's a sign of interest and you've got some good key filter questions that you ask them along the way. Where do you get your makeup now? Or where do you do this now? And who's helping you do what you want to do now? And having some of those filter questions engaged in, intertwined in all of this, our filter question is, how do people hear about you? And what ends up happening most of the time is they say they're not, which is a perfect segue for us. Or they say, well, I do this, this, and this, and this, which is actually a better client for us, because they are out there marketing and they are doing stuff to grow their business, and we can come in and supplement that. If you're not doing anything at all to market your business, then Experience Pros is quite overwhelming, to take on if you're not doing anything else. But so these are our filters, and so we know how to handle those questions or how to handle those folks that we're talking to on leading them into our sales process. And so when we talk about all of this and everything that we do in marketing, everything that we're doing as a business owner and a sales professional is taking people through our sales process and having an element of what's next. So these are just great conversation starters, great ways to talk about who you are, but knowing, okay, then this is the next step. If I get somebody that's interested, having a conversation with them. Is that a phone call? Is that an appointment? Do they go to my website? Do I sign them up for something? Always knowing what that next step is, because it isn't an A to B. I meet you, you buy something. It's not how it happens. So you have to know what the baby steps are that get them from when I meet you, or they've heard of me, or checked me out on my website, to that buying process. And just, knowing that it is not, very rarely is it I meet you and buy you. I might meet you, Debbie, and say, oh my gosh, I've lost track of my Mary Kay lady. I need a mascara. Do you have one? But how often actually that might happen a lot. I don't know. But I'm thinking, somebody else is probably already buying. They're probably buying their makeup from somebody else, going to the mall and doing their thing. And so it's a process. And you have to know what your sales process is. But marketing is just a fun way to engage in these conversations that isn't sales pitchy, that gets also, it's a conversation that people then can do without you even present, which, as we're a small business, you want more people talking about you with you not even being present. And that's the key to growing your business. Because of course, as you're growing and it's one-on-one, you can build that business. But the goal is to create messaging out there that when you're not even in the room, people can still talk about you, share you, and introduce you, and bring people into your sales process.
So to recap, when a dill pickle, a lost leader, and a soapbox walk into a bar, what's the punchline? If you do what we just taught you, it won't be you. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
That was. I don't get it, but yeah.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about your directory memberships and what's going on in the directory and all of that. Want to encourage, we've got so many new members. I think we brought on 16 new members in the last month. So welcome to all of you. You probably have more questions than you know how to ask. And that's all right, because you can always call Adam at 720-344-2446, extension 1004. He's our director of membership. He'll be happy to help you, as will anybody in there.
Well, and Cher is the membership diva.
Right.
So once you're a member and you need any help with scheduling anything, scheduling your interviews, getting your events posted, anything like that, Cher will help you there.
Absolutely. A couple of things, though, that we want to make you aware of, and I'm going to share my computer screen with you now and let you see, so if I can find what I'm looking for. Apparently I can't find what I'm looking for. No. I'm looking for my screen, which happens to be the wrong page, that's why. All right, try it again. I'm gonna try to screen share to you. I'm guessing it's this, so no, it's not that, it's this one. Here we go. The membership information center exists on our website here, and you may or may not be aware that there is a membership information center. It's a new feature that we've added in the last month or so, but I want to make you aware of it. Under the members tab, you can click the member information center, and all kinds of good stuff for you. So if you've got a question 24/7 you want us to answer, whether it's about your business, about a struggle, about some friend's struggle, it's 100% anonymous. We don't know who's asking. So you can go here, and this is where you might say, I run ABC Chinese restaurant. I've got rodents, and I really don't know what to do about it, but I can't ask anybody in public. And we will change the names and whatever. By the way, you don't tell us who you are if you've got rodents in your restaurant.
No, but how do we get the answer then? If we're sending it anonymously, how are we receiving
We will answer the question on the air.
Okay.
So that's what we'll do. Is it's a purpose.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Because the questions that we get so far are just, they're not necessarily, they're just so general that It's like it hasn't been like, Key, I gotta contact this person. So
No,
yeah,
so
I guess you just have to listen to the radio show.
yeah, well,
Maybe we'll post it on our. We can probably post the answer on
On
our
the blog.
membership group.
Yeah.
In our membership page. We had to ask the pros question, and here's the answer.
there you go.
So we can post it there.
And if it's more general or will serve a larger audience, we can also talk a little bit about and put that on our blog so that people can see it as well. All right, so the next thing is member training videos. If you missed one, Monica wrote in and said that she had a technical issue today and couldn't listen to the show. Don't worry, right here you click this and it takes you to the whole list of membership training videos, so you don't have to miss anything. And if you're new, you can go back through the archives and find all kinds of really great stuff. Each one is titled to give you an idea of the topics that we're covering. You say you're a red level or a gold level member, and you have an interview that comes with your membership, or a couple of interviews that come with your membership. This is where you fill it out. I'm looking at a camera that's not even on. This is where you click. So, click this, and you'll sign up for that interview. Gold level members have the opportunity to become a presenter at our member-to-member training events at Water to Wine. Simply click this button here, and it will send an email to us to let us know that you're interested in being one of those presenters. If you continue to scroll down on the page, yes, we still offer free name tags through Printing Done Quickly for your business. It's an Experience Pros name tag branded to the Experience Pros network, but it's got your name and your business name on it. All you got to do is click this, and that will send an email requesting that name tag, and then we provide them at the next events. We have counter displays, which are really kind of cool. You can it features the Experience Pros network and the radio show on one side, and on the other side it can be your advertising. And Angel, you came up with kind of a cool thing to
a buddy system.
A buddy system.
A buddy system.
What is that?
So the countertop display, which I don't see one here, most people were getting them to just have in their own business. So it'd have a coupon or something about your own business, but it would be in your own store. So rather than promote you to your existing customers, if you have a buddy system, somebody else has a countertop display with your goodies, and you have their countertop display at your place with your goodies. So if you've got an office, a storefront.
I would do 10 of them then.
Yeah. Well, here's how it works.
Yeah, well,
The displays are
the
free.
displays are
All
ready.
right.
The little packet of tear-off pads,
50 to a pad.
and they're $25 each. So you can have as many buddies as you'd like. We can put, on the back of it, let me grab it really quick.
Yeah.
So you can put, I think, up to 4 companies on the back.
It's the size of 4 business cards, 2 up, right? So, and it's full color. You can design it however you want, and Printing Done Quickly will print them for you. And again, if you want it just to be basic, just promoting the network and whatnot. If you're a proud member of the network and you have a place to display it, get one. It's free.
Yeah, they're free if you just want the existing one with
Right.
just Experience Pros and Printing Done Quickly, because Printing Done Quickly is the one that prints them and provides them.
There you go.
And so it's a great way to just promote that the network that you're a part of it. Because every time we send people to that directory, it helps all of us.
Yep.
Because popular listings show up, recent band brags show up, hot listings show up. It's easy once they're there to just start looking around and well, who else is here? What else can I look for? And so our goal is to get people to that website, because the more, and it helps all of us, the more we all get, the more business that is being done.
All right, back to the Member Information Center that is available on our website. We have recurring events that happen every single month, and we want to make you aware of those. If you never remember, just go to the Information Center and check it out. The recurring events, first Wednesdays are member-to-member training. Second Fridays, that's what we're doing right now, your membership training. Third Tuesdays, Epic North, we're big open to the public event up in Loveland. Third Wednesdays, Epic South, much bigger event on the south side here in the Park Meadows area. Fourth or fifth Monday. What do we do? Fourth or fifth Mondays?
Business owners of magnitude.
Boom! She's trying to.
I know. I was
It's never
trying to
too
avoid
early.
the word.
It's never too early.
Yeah,
You're all welcome.
every time you say the word boom, Eric gives
All right.
a little shout out. But
Fourth or fifth Mondays, boom. We love sponsoring that and supporting the work
But
of
it's
two
great.
of our members.
because it's in Westminster.
Yep.
So rather than Experience Pros start another event, we collaborated with Boom because they're already doing an event, and to invite all of our Experience Pros members there so we can support each other.
Yeah. If you're looking for more details on any of these events, because this is not a detailed list, right? You click up here on the calendar and it will tell you all the things based on the dates available. So I'll talk about the calendar in just a moment. We'll come back to it. And then finally down here at the bottom, XP events. These are the ones that are hosted by our gold level members and or advertisers. They are available for you. They're on a list here. So if you click on this, it will absolutely take you to a comprehensive list of the things that are happening this month on this. It's a little more featured than the calendar events, but we want to make sure that you're aware of them. So check your dates, make sure that you sign up and get involved. Have you got a success story?
Always.
If you've got one, share it with us. If you share your success story, we'll share that.
We'll share it on the air. So
Yep.
we're actually, as we've added a share your success story segment in our broadcast. So as we get them, we've got room to share them on the air. So your story will get shared on the air.
Absolutely. And then ordering a ribbon cutting for red and gold level members, just let us know, click that button and let us know the details of your event and we'll get you on the calendar.
So we used to send out a newsletter with all of this information, and it got to just be very overwhelming. So we put it here on the website so you guys can pull it whenever you need it. We update it. We also use the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, to share information as well. But we want that Facebook group really to be a place where you guys talk to each other. Eric and I have a lot of chances, and our team has a lot of chances to talk to each of you, one-on-one and back and forth. But we want to create a community where you guys are supporting each other. And it's not just that we're supporting you, but that you guys are all supporting each other. So use that Facebook group to connect. Show up to people's events. Help if they're promoting an event or they've got a promotion going on. I know, Sabina, you guys, you're awesome at that. But that's what we all want is, think about it. If you want people to show up to your stuff, so show up for their stuff. And click share it with your sphere of influence and support the entire group. If people, I participate in a Facebook group called Word of Mouth Highlands Ranch, because I live in Highlands Ranch, and I'm on there just to be a voyeur. So when everybody says, hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent, hey, I'm looking for a pediatrician, hey, I send them to our members.
Right? It's part of our,
that word.
part of our service. All right.
I'm like, who are they looking for? Because I want to be there. I am a Facebook stalker. I want to promote our members as often as I can, and I want our members to promote each other. And you can trust that if they're a member, they have been qualified and approved and vetted by Experience Pros every single time. We have a 14-step system that everybody has to qualify through, and every member goes through that. So you can trust that if they're a member, they've come through our fingers. Even though we do have the online setup and people can go automatically and do it online, they don't get through until they've crossed, we've crossed our T's and dotted our I's with them.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the calendar. You find that here at the top. Also on the homepage, there's an icon down towards the listen here that offers you the calendar view. This is our calendar, and it is the authoritative place to find events that are associated with the Experience Pros and our members. As you can see, we have 4 or 5 events that Experience Pros officially sets up and sponsors, but the members add their own, which means, believe it or not, we're averaging 25 to 30 events a month.
And that's before Keller Williams comes on board,
Oh, boy.
because she's got a bunch of events
There you go.
It's so easy too.
Yeah.
to post your events.
Oh, so easy.
Nice.
Yeah, in fact, what she's talking about being so easy is this little green button right here. is all you need to do is click the post your event button and type in the information for your event. If there's graphics, there's a place for you to upload those graphics. There's a map, there's a date and time and all of that. And then when you hit submit, it goes into a holding. It must be approved by our front office.
You wanna make sure you're a member.
Yeah, that's it. You got to be a member. So it's
Because
available.
it's on our public site. We just make sure that you're a member, and that's the only thing. As a member, it's going to be approved. If it doesn't show up immediately, it's just because we're waiting for Cher to click the button.
Absolutely. I want to draw your attention to a couple of things here, though. Probably my favorite button next to the post your event button is the one down here at the bottom, and that is subscribe. And by clicking on the subscribe button, you can actually get an opportunity to add the calendar to something that you're doing, add it to your Google Calendar, add it to your Outlook. You have an Apple Calendar, you have a different calendar. And here's what's really cool about that. Now I get to walk around with my phone and I don't have to go straight to the web page. All I have to do is look at my calendar, which is where I'm looking for all my daily events anyways.
You can probably color code that too.
Absolutely.
Also, if you don't like the month at a glance,
Yep.
and you prefer a different view of it, up here where it says month, you can have it down as an agenda. You can see it daily. You can see it weekly.
Wow.
I don't know.
There's a member visibility training going on today.
Today and Braggin Friday. The Vision is Victory workshop is going on this morning from Infinite Nation.
And believe it or not, you can go to Amazing Creations on Saturday and get their service for $20.
They do. They have
The
a
select
whole-
services that they have down there.
Yeah.
Wow.
They do that once a month, the $20 day at Amazing. It's where I get my lashes done.
So different views. You can take it day at a time. You can do it week at a time. However you like. We leave it as defaulted to the month view, but use it as you will. And I guess that's the invitation to use it. And then finally, for this screen share, I want to share with you the process by which you log into your directory listing. So I'm going to click on this, which will open up a new window. See this button right here where it says login? That's where you log into your directory listing. It's on the experiencepros.com/directory page, front page of the directory. You can find it from this button here, okay? That login gets you into this page. I'm using Dennis's as an example. Actually, it gets you to this page. And once you're in here, these are the really cool things. We do this on almost every video, but I think it's an important thing to remind you of. Check your quick statistics. How many people have, I'm going to go on the second line, how many people have brought your business up in a search? In Dennis's case, it's been 1,268. Of those 1,268, how many people have opened your listing? 957. Of that, 12 came in the last week. He's received 3 emails through his directory listing, and 40 of the 957 have clicked through to his website and done things. That doesn't mean that 40 is the limited number of people who have interacted with him, because there's lots of ways to interact. 3, of course, sent emails. A couple of them may have dropped into the store because he's got a storefront, and even more might just pick up the phone and call him because his phone number is listed there. So that's how you check your statistics, okay?
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
I love mine.
Yeah, and so you can, I mean, it tells you, it gives you a story of if people are searching for you but not opening up your listing, so our messaging is wrong, and what are we missing there? If if they're looking at your listing but you're not, nobody's clicking through, do we not have a strong call to action? Do we not have an interesting, juicy deal? And then if they are coming to you and still not, I mean, if they've come, they've checked you out, they found your listing, they came to your website, and they're still not, then where are we missing it on the customer service side? Is it, do you not answer your phone? Do you not reply to emails? Is it hard to get in touch with you? And so it gives you, as a small business owner, an exact picture of, okay, where should I be working on my business? What are the pieces? Because I'm getting a lot of activity, I'm getting a lot of attraction to my brand, but they're not following through. So if they're looking for me and they're clicking on my listing, they've got a need. They've got at least, or an interest.
Right.
So how do we then take that and bring them through that sales process?
All right, this button here is manage. You click on that and it's going to take you to where you can actually edit your listing. Here is where you can do that. And as you do that, you can see that there are some things, you know, the short description, the long description.
Your short description should only be 5 words.
Yeah, absolutely. I send out twice a year an evaluation of your listing, and Dennis's probably do. This should be 5 words or less. I know it says he's got 500 characters. Don't do Twitter on steroids. 5 words or less. Otherwise, it gets truncated and nobody sees them anyways. So in the description, you should have some photos. You should have some a compelling storyline. What you should not have in your description are hyperlinks to take people back to your website or to your email or any of that. Please don't do that. The reason why is because we've already got your website linked down below. It's on the side in your listing.
And that's the only one that's tracked.
It's the only one that we can prove people are going to you. So if you want to make sure that you know how many people are actually interacting with your website, don't submarine the process by adding a whole bunch of links in here. It's tempting. It's not like a typical website in that regard. Keywords. Look at Dennis. He's got a lot of them. A gold level membership comes with 100 keywords. Use them.
Use them all.
Oh my gosh, it's so important. You saw 1,200 people. 1,200 people saw this listing. Of those 1,200 people, they're being found because of these keywords. And Sabina just mentioned that she can't think of any others. Don't worry about that. Call me, I'll help you. But here's what you want to do. Think outside your industry.
Yeah.
Who are your power partners? What are their keywords? I always use the reference for Nyland's Collision Center, right? Or Bumper Dock. Their keywords should absolutely include insurance, right? They don't sell insurance. They don't provide any type of thing, but they interact with insurance all the time. So somebody wants to get insurance for their home and they type in insurance in the directory. I'm okay if Nyland's Collision Center comes up. It may be a trigger. You know what? I do have a dent that needs to be dealt with. Use keywords that are ancillary to your business. The meta title, meta description, meta keywords. Just copy your keywords into the meta keywords. Meta description and meta title. This is how Google finds you. It's a 2-in-1 benefit for members of the directory. Not only are people going to the directory and finding you because of your keywords, but they are, and description, but they are also finding you on the Google and the Yahoo and the Bing. And so put information in there. If you don't know how or whatnot, call any one of our IT people. They'll be happy to help you. You can search that on the directory or call us and we'll be happy to help you as well.
So the nice thing is people can search for on the Google, not just in the directory,
Right.
but anywhere on the Google. And because your keywords are there, it comes up in the search. So you know, when we kicked off our fan Braggin contest in January, it upped the extreme customer service directory to help your search engines. And we've got a great SEO company. SharpNote Solutions is SEOing this directory listing for you guys constantly, monitoring it. Yeah.
Hours of operation. You say, well, I'm a business coach or I work from home. I don't really have any hours. Put hours of operation. It makes you look less than temporary. Okay.
Or hobby.
Right. So, if you, and be careful of saying, well, I only want to answer the phone between 11 and 2. So I'm going to put 11 and 2 on Mondays and Thursdays. Wednesday I go to Bible study and Fridays fishing.
I only answer the phone. I only return voicemails from 4 to 5. We don't need to know that.
No.
Just do it.
Just answer.
Because
That's
the people who do that don't necessarily
They
do
don't
that.
do that, right? Right?
This is where you enter your website. This is the only authorized and approved way to enter your website on your directory listing. This is where the email goes and is sent directly. If you have social medias, this is where you put those in. And contact name, contact last name. Special offers. We talked about it earlier in the business. I continue to look to a camera that's not on. You're looking at my screen. This is where you put your special offer. And our advice, based on everything that we've seen with the way that Google categorizes and lists and promotes our pages, is if you change this once a month, Google goes, oh, something new to talk about, and you start to rise up in the organic SEO. For those of you who are new to the language, SEO stands for search engine optimization. So there you have it. That's your, I guess that's your list of things to do with your directory membership. Don't forget to check the Member Information Center. I guess one last thing, tune into the show. Listen to the radio show. It's a huge asset to you. And many people forget that, you know, and they go to the networking things if they can. They forget the value of nonstop training. And you say, well, I'm in the office. I can't listen to the show from 10 to noon. It's okay. It's 24/7 on the website right here. Actually, I changed my screen away. Click on radio show, drop down to the archives, and have at it. They're all categorized by topic for you, so you know what to look at.
Well, think about this. You know, we are going 100 miles an hour, and the world is a pretty negative place, and there's a lot of stuff going against us as business owners. And so who you are is a reflection of the books you read, the music and tapes you listen to, the people you surround yourself with. So you have an opportunity for 2 hours a day to input something positive, good stuff. Surround yourself with people who are here to support you and encourage you, to lift you up and give you the information and training to build your business. Because if we're just out there doing it on our own and we're listening to the feedback and the negativity, that impacts us. That impacts us as business owners, and it can start to wear us down. I mean, we put everything, we put our heart and soul into building our businesses. And it doesn't take much to have an off day. And so we do this every day, 2 hours. So you have that energy that that refuels you. So before you make that phone call that might be tough, you know, if you're trying to decide, should I go out the door to this networking event, or should I, really, should I go to the pool, or should I build my business? Turn on the show and be inspired, and let that energy just fill you to make that next phone call, to show up to that next appointment, to do the hard stuff, because we are creating a lifestyle, we are creating a legacy that a lot of people around us just don't. They think we're crazy, and they think we're nuts. And how much time are you really putting into that? And is it really worth it? And, they're just going to feed us with these questions that plant doubt. And the Experience Pros radio show, my husband and I grew up, we had an Amway business years and years ago. And a lot of the key things that we learned from that was every day we read for 30 minutes a day. We had a biography or self-help or something inspirational that we read every single day. And then they had tapes, and you would listen to these inspirational people in the car. So whenever you were in the car, you were listening to something inspirational, and it inspired you to just deal with the in-laws and the people at the grocery store and the people trying to cut you off in traffic and those people that are questioning but it's your lifestyle and it's your dream and it's your family. And so you deserve to have something great put into you. And so that's what we try to do.
Absolutely.
On the show every day.
All right, that's going to conclude our training here. Thank you for those who are watching by way of the video. We appreciate you. Anybody, if you have questions for us, we're available 24/7 by way of the Facebook page, the interactions. You can send us an email. You can call the office at 720-344-2446. And we're going to wrap this thing up and go upstairs and do Fan Braggin Friday. I encourage you to call in on Fan Braggin Friday. It is quite possibly the sleeper value of the century for you. We give away a ton of free marketing. You might be on the hold for 20 minutes. We apologize for that. Don't know how to solve for that really, because we're taking people's stories live. But we'd love for you to call 855-FAN-BRAG, 855-326-2724, and we'll see you in 30 minutes on the air.